Hello and welcome to Creepy Storytimes. I guess you were expecting crappy storytelling, but due to the new style and the length of the story, I decided to change the name as well. The story today is called Seeing Things, and I hope you do enjoy. The day which it all started happening began like any other. I was awoken by the sound of my alarm. From my bedroom I would head to the bathroom, as I did every morning, starting the day off with a hot shower. And it was while I was showering that these strange events began to unfold. As I was looking down, washing the shampoo out of my hair, instead of seeing the usual white soapy bubbles, I saw a red liquid which resembled blood. I closed my eyes lightly for a second. When I reopened them, I expected to see the usual, but it was still this blood-like liquid. I immediately looked up, and for a moment I thought I saw a large white figure. But after inspecting what little ceiling there was in my bathroom, and not seeing anything but the white ceiling itself, I feared, due to the amount of red liquid, that I may have a large gash in my head. I ran both hands through my hair before looking at them, only to see white bubbles. Even by my feet were these white bubbles, which I could have sworn it was blood only moments ago. I was a little shaken up, but other than that, the rest of the day was pretty normal. The next day I got out of bed and went to the bathroom to use the toilet, and as soon as I entered I replayed in my mind the events of yesterday. And the whole time I was in there, I couldn't help from looking at the ceiling, knowing I definitely saw something. I chose not to shower out of fear that I might relive those events. After I left the bathroom, I walked down the hallway and into my kitchen. I took one step in to feel a warm and wet sensation on the sole of my bare foot. I looked down to see this red liquid again, but this time it was thicker and stickier, as if it were real blood. For some reason I felt the need to enter further into my kitchen to investigate where the blood had come from, for it had covered the floor with a thick layer. I took about 4 steps across the sticky surface when the door seemed to shut itself behind me, and then the blood began to rise in an unnatural way. As if there were a natural way for blood to rise in someone's kitchen, but liquid tends to rise from a point of entry, and this blood rose straight up with the surface remaining still. I looked up, expecting to get a glimpse of this white figure again, hoping that when I looked down, all this blood would be gone. To my surprise, nothing was on the ceiling, and I could feel the blood as it reached my dangling hands. I stood still in fear as the blood rose up to my chest. Before it stopped, my eyes were filled with tears, as I was scared that this was how the Grim Reaper would make his grand entrance, and that my time had come to an end. Through my tear-filled eyes, I saw, about a foot in front of me, a large crystal-white arm rise out of the blood. Not wanting to see the end, I closed my eyes and waited. I waited for what seemed an eternity, but all I felt was the warm stickiness of the blood. So I slowly opened one eye to see that the white arm had gone, along with all the blood, leaving no trace of it ever being there in the first place. I was just standing in my kitchen, drenched in sweat. I didn't know what to think, other than, could I be going crazy? But it all felt so real. I bravely took a shower, not just to wash away the sweat, but to also see if the blood and this white thing would return. It was just like yesterday. One weird event happened, and the rest of the day was normal. During that night, I was unable to sleep. I couldn't even close my eyes for more than a few seconds, out of fear that something might happen. The whole night I lied awake, just staring at my ceiling, until my alarm went off. I got up and done my morning routine as normal. I was just on guard the whole time. Nothing did happen that morning, which left me on edge for the rest of the day, as I waited for something to happen. That day went by like any other, with the only strange thing happening was I went to bed a lot earlier than usual. Morning came and I was awoken, not by my alarm, but by someone rocking me. It took me a few seconds to realize what was happening before I tried to get a look at this person or thing that was rocking me. But they had vanished before I could even catch a glimpse of them. At this point I believed I'd actually gone mad. I got out of bed and walked into the hallway. As I walked to the bathroom, to the right of me were splotches of blood that led to my bathroom. The door was shut, which made me think that whatever had made this blood trail was on the other side of that door. I hesitated to open the door. If I'm mad, then whatever is in here can't hurt me. But if I'm not... I slowly opened the door, ready for anything. At least I thought I was. But in this room lied nothing out of the ordinary. I'd done my regular morning routine in there, while being tormented by my mind, thinking something's going to happen. Everything was normal, until I left the bathroom, and the blood trail leading from my bedroom to this room was gone, and a new trail from here to the kitchen had appeared, with another shut door to open. I didn't hesitate this time. I just wanted it to be over. Once again, there wasn't anything out of the ordinary in here, and I could have done as normal if I wasn't so paranoid. When I left the kitchen, the blood trail had disappeared, and no new one had appeared. Still, I walked with caution down that hallway, when all the doors shut around me, and the light began to flicker. Then the ceiling started to rain blood, covering the hallway and myself within seconds. I could barely see, as the blood trickled down my face and over my eyes. But at the end of the hallway, I'm sure I could make out a large bulky figure slowly making their way towards me. I fell to my knees as I tried to watch this white figure get closer. But the blood didn't stop pouring, and I couldn't keep my eyes open to witness the end. And then, within an instant, everything went back to normal, and I was covered with sweat instead of blood. I'd had enough of this. I needed to know if what was happening was in my head or if it were real. I needed for someone to come to my apartment, so I started to tell everyone what was happening and asking if they would come over. But everyone just thought I was being stupid or just trying to scare them. It got to a point where I was so desperate for someone to come over that I started asking strangers at my work and on the street. But no one would listen. Everyone thought I was crazy, and maybe I am. I've decided to end the torment myself and take my own life. As I write this tale of events I've witnessed, that white figure is standing in front of me, and the only blood in this room is that which is constantly dripping off his knife. I must be crazy, as the white figure that's been haunting me is an overgrown rabbit standing on two legs and has hands. He's passing me his knife now. I did ask him to kill me, but it seems I'll have to do it myself. That story was called Seeing Things. I hope you enjoyed it, and that you will come back for another creepy story. Thanks for listening.
We go. Ouch. Why did I fall? Ah.